For almost this entire chase, police could see where the suspects were going. There was nowhere to hide in the open concrete riverbed. A helicopter was overhead, sheriff's vehicles were following from the roads above. Then, the driver found one place the cameras could not follow: a tunnel. On the evening of August 21, 2025, Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputies were pursuing a stolen utility truck. The pursuit left the streets and continued right inside the Rio Hondo riverbed. Instead of driving through intersections, traffic lights, and neighborhood roads, the driver had taken the chase into the flood control channel. This is a stretch of concrete, dirt, and drainage routes which run beneath parts of Los Angeles County. This chase looked less like a normal police chase and it was more like an off-road escape. The truck raced through the riverbed. The driver kept moving. Apparently, there was more than one suspect in the vehicle. The riverbed gave the driver one major advantage. There were no traffic lights and almost no vehicles to block the way. But it also created a serious problem. The suspects were inside a concrete corridor. Deputies did not need to follow directly behind them. Sheriff's vehicles traveled along the streets and access roads above the channel. They stayed parallel with the truck. The helicopters did the rest. From the sky, officers could see almost every move. The stolen truck bounced over rough sections of the riverbed. It slid through loose dirt. A normal car might have become stuck, but this was a utility truck. It had enough ground clearance to keep pushing forward. For several minutes, the driver remained inside the main channel. Possible exits appeared along the route, but the truck continued past them. This made the chase even stranger. Every meter deeper into the riverbed took the suspects farther away from normal roads. However, it reduced their chances of escape. Behind them were deputies, above them was the helicopter, on both sides were high concrete walls. The truck kept going. It moved quickly towards a narrower section. At first, it looked like the driver might be searching for a ramp back to the street, but that was not the plan. The truck turned into a side channel. The wide-open riverbed suddenly became much tighter. The concrete walls closed in and the route ahead became darker and more confined. From the helicopter, the danger was obvious. If the passage ended in a locked gate, deep water, or a dead end, the suspects would have nowhere to turn around. The truck could become trapped inside the channel with deputies waiting above. But the driver did not hesitate. The vehicle continued deeper into the side passage. And then the helicopter camera revealed what was waiting ahead: a storm-drain tunnel. It was wide enough for the truck to enter, but once the vehicle passed beneath the concrete opening, the helicopter would lose sight of it completely. The truck approached the darkness. For the first time in the chase, the suspects had found cover. Deputies were still moving along the roads above. They tried to follow the route of the drainage system. But from the surface, there was no way to know exactly where the tunnel traveled, whether it divided into other passages, or where the suspects might emerge. The driver reached the entrance. The white truck crossed into the shadow. Then it disappeared. The truck did not come back out. The end felt unfinished. There was no crash, no pit maneuver. Authorities now had a different problem. The pursuit was no longer about speed. It had become a search. Deputies would have to locate other tunnel entrances. They had to check access points and determine whether the suspects had stopped inside, continued underground, or escaped through another opening. However, authorities did not announce whether the truck was recovered or whether the suspects were arrested. This was an unusual chase.